Today in the Keto Twins test kitchen, we will be testing out 3 90-second keto-friendly bread recipes. Sarah and I have never made keto-friendly bread recipes that took 90 seconds or were made in the microwave. And I don't know why I'm doing this. We thought that these recipes seemed really interesting and you guys keep on recommending that we try them. We typically eat chaffles on our channel. Our chaffles are the crispiest, cheesiest wonders that ever graced the internet, according to us. But we just usually make those. We were interested in trying something new and you guys keep on pointing out that you can make keto bread in the microwave. So we're going to be trying that today. So the first 90-second keto-friendly bread recipe came recommended from all of you. It's by Keto Focus. We will leave a link to her recipe in the description below. She also has a YouTube channel.
Sideburn check. Has a mind of its own.
I never thought about shaving it off, but I think I would live to regret that. So we will be trying 3 recipes today, and this one is the one that has the most ingredients. So a lot of these recipes, you need to have a container to put in your microwave. So we have this one. It's a plastic, microwavable safe container. And before you say it, we know it's plastic going in the microwave. But if you have a glass container, feel free to use that. The first step is going to be lining your dish with some parchment paper. We will leave a link to the original recipe below so that you can get all of the measurements because it's not our recipe. To a bowl, I've added in almond flour, baking powder, protein powder, and allulose, and a pinch of salt. Because I forgot the salt. Next up, we're gonna add in our wet ingredients, which are butter, 1 egg white, heavy cream, and sour cream. So we whisked together our wet and dry ingredients and we combined it and it looks like this. We are going to spread this into the container that we're gonna be putting in the microwave and create an even layer at the bottom. Here we are, looking very good so far, looking very legitimate. We're gonna put this in the microwave for 90 seconds. She did give oven instructions. I think it says about 9 to 11 minutes in an oven that's preheated to 350 degrees.
Add 3 times, 30 seconds.
I do that even with things that are like 10 minutes. I'll just add 30 seconds at a time. That means I have to press the button a lot.
Whatever works for you.
Anyone else do that? Comment below. It smells interesting.
That would have been funny if you hit yourself in the face.
Oh,
looks
cute.
bread-like.
Yeah. We're gonna take this out and let it cool. We are gonna be toasting all of these up later.
That does look bread-like.
So the next 90-second keto-friendly bread replacement that we're going to be trying is by the creator Wholesome Yum. We love recipes from her as well, and we will link her recipe with all of the details in the description below if you guys want the exact measurements. The first step is to melt your butter inside of the container. We're still using the same container because we want all of our bread pieces to be the same size. So we're going to be using 1 tablespoon of butter and putting it in the microwave. I like this dish because it's made in the same container. We're going to be combining our almond flour, our psyllium husk, and a pinch of salt into the butter.
And baking powder.
And baking powder. What? Okay. I thought that we were going to only use 1 container, but it turns out we need to whisk the egg. So we have another bowl. I'm going to be whisking my egg before adding it into our other ingredients. Question. My whisk is too big for the container. So do I whisk it in said container or do I transfer?
I say transfer the dry ingredients into the egg and then
whisk it and then
back.
put it back.
I don't think it's gonna, but then it's not gonna be 1 container. Whatever, just do it.
Is it supposed to be chunky?
No.
She used a rectangular container to make 2 pieces. We're using a square, so I don't know much about math, but I know that this is double the batter. So we're gonna use half of this batter to make 1 piece of bread. Half.
It's like mustard.
And now we're carefully going to flatten it, spread it about. So, okay, this is as good as it's gonna get. So we're gonna pop this in the microwave for 90 seconds. The correct way. And I'm one of those people that never clears a microwave. So my husband always has to come out and do it, and that drives him crazy. So,
Really?
yeah. So I'm definitely gonna leave a couple seconds on here just to make him more crazy. It does smell like an omelet. Isn't that interesting? It does smell a little eggy because we did use the whole egg, including the yolk. The other recipe only used egg whites. So let's take it out and put it next to our other contender. So the last keto-friendly 90-second bread recipe comes from a website called Gimme Delicious, and it's basically similar to the Wholesome Yum recipe, except they do not use psyllium husk in this recipe, but all of the other ingredients are the same. So I figured it would be a good test to see if the psyllium husk made a difference in the Wholesome Yum recipe for our taste. We're gonna be adding all of our ingredients into a bowl, whisking that all together. We're gonna be putting it into our same dish that we've used for the last 2, putting it in the microwave for 90 seconds, and then we will unveil all 3 of our options.
Yeah.
We're going to use a serrated knife to carefully slice our bread options in half. And then we're going to slather the bread with a little bit of butter. We're going to toast it. We're using some sugar-free raspberry jam. We can link it below. And then we're going to go downstairs and we're going to try all 3 options. So here we have our 3 selections. I'm going to say that Annie from Keto Focus's recipe, it does look like bread. Like I can imagine a grilled cheese in between here. We're just going to be using a little bit of jam for simplicity's sake. Shall we jam our toast? Oh, still wanna... Kind of reminds me of a English muffin a little bit.
Honestly, when it was coming out of the microwave, it had this kind of like whey protein smell, but I don't think I smell that anymore, especially with the butter on there. It's very flaky, very dough-like. This would be really good, like an Eggs Benedict, a biscuit and gravy type of situation. I could see this working well with that. I'm really liking it. It's delicious. Great job, Annie.
It's like the closest to like a buttery biscuit, and Sarah loves some biscuits.
I do.
And it reminds me of that.
It's one of the things I miss on keto the most. Maybe you could add some like garlic, some cheddar, make those biscuits from Red Lobster. I used to just go there and just order a basket of biscuits.
They don't let you order multiple baskets of biscuits at
Probably because of me.
All right, I really like that. Airy, it's springy, it toasts up really well. Next up, we're going to try Wholesome Yums with the psyllium husk. It reminds me of an,
It smells like eggs.
Yeah.
And we did use the whole egg with the yolk, so that's why it smells like that. And it also gives that yellow color. Definitely drier than Annie's recipe. Totally different texture.
Totally different texture. It tastes better than it looks.
Well, that's my fault.
To me, it looked like a cookie.
A cookie. Gosh, I wish we could find the video of you eating that cookie. Emily eats with her pinky out, if you've ever noticed.
I eat like this.
Emily
I don't know why.
eats the finger out like that. Yeah.
Even when I was a baby, my mom goes, "Look at, she's such a lady." As I ate 500 cookies. This reminds me of cornbread. In fact, I wonder if you could put some cornbread flavor in here. That might get you really close to cornbread.
So this is the recipe by Gimme Delicious. The difference between this 90-second bread recipe and Wholesome Yum's recipe is psyllium husk is added to Wholesome Yum's recipe and it's omitted from this recipe.
Sideburn check. You
too.
Really? I'm actually liking these so far. I'm excited to try this one. It reminds me of a cornbread.
Yeah, I could see adding, like Emily said, some corn flavoring in there, some jalapenos, jalapenos, if you will, a little bit of cheddar cheese. We should try that.
I do taste the egg in there, but I'm not offended by it. Sarah and I are used to eating our chaffles with pretty much everything with bread. Sometimes we'll buy like the keto-friendly bread from like the grocery store. Mostly we're eating our chaffles. I could see how this could be good in some situations where you don't want like a crispy, crunchy chaffle like we usually do. I'm surprised at how good all 3 of these were. If you had to pick one that was most versatile, which one would you pick?
I think I would go with Keto Focus's recipe. It really reminds me of a English muffin, which I really enjoy and I miss being on keto. The other ones have their own purposes as well, but I really like Annie's recipe.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Annie's recipe first. We have a visitor
to the set. We tried to sneak
Someone
downstairs.
said that he was scary the other day. He's not. He's the sweetest creature that ever lived. I definitely like Annie's recipe too. It reminded me the most of like white bread.
Yeah.
I think Annie's was my favorite today, but I did like the other ones because the plate is empty. So do with that information what you will.
If you're looking for recipes that only have a couple ingredients, you can click on the video on the screen. We tested out 2 ingredient recipes and some of them are really tasty. And we'll see you over there. Anyway, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Emily.
And we are the Keto Twins signing out.
And this is...
And we...